Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we move forward with even more Yu-Gi-Oh! Reveals. Today we've got the reveals of the next wave of Gold Pride support. This will probably be all the support we're going to get for the time being, at least. But it's 7 new cards. This is an archetype that already had a decent head start, with the first wave of support. So let's see how they round it out. Let's just jump into it. Starting off here, we have Gold Pride Roller Baller. It's a level 5 Earth Psychic effect monster. I love his design, by the way. His artwork is so funny. 1800 attack, 600 defense, fine. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from the hand. That is super standard for all of the Gold Pride stuff, so not too crazy there. During the main phase, quick effect, you can fusion summon one Gold Pride fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. You can only use each effect of Roller Baller once per turn. So not bad, just an extender that also gives you a quick fusion effect. We'll see the fusion in just a second here, but not a bad start, the fact that all of them have that condition. The problem with the deck seems to be that you have to open a starter card that lowers your life points. So whether that's the Punk Engine, whether that's one of the Gold Pride spells, you have to find something or all of them get stuck in the hand. So just got to be wary of that. From there, we move to Gold Pride Pinballer, the fusion. This is a level 9 Dark Machine fusion effect monster, 3k attack, 0 defense. This card requires specifically Roller Baller plus a Gold Pride monster or more than one, which is, fine. That's fine. I wish this was just any monster, you know what I mean? Or maybe just any 2 Gold Prides, but it needs Roller Baller. I guess he's the only fusion one, so that's not really it. But maybe if the second material was a little more generic, this would be a little better, but still good. If this card is fusion summoned, you can equip face-up monsters your opponent controls to it up to the number of fusion materials used. So at least 2, if not more. That is non-targeting, by the way. That's a very powerful removal effect. You can only use the previous effect of this card once per turn. Also, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, the effect's activation and effect cannot be negated. So an unnegatable rip multiple monsters from your opponent's field is pretty nasty. So that makes it even better. And then it has the classic stipulation for all the extra deck monsters. Once per turn during the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon a Roller Baller from your deck or graveyard. Cool addition to the deck, adds an extra little bit of interruption. To me, Roller Baller almost seems like a one-of. Because all of these effects can summon from grave, it means if you just set up the one Roller Baller with any other Gold Pride in rotation, you've got this as a quick effect on the opponent's turn, and then it goes right back into the Roller Baller that was in grave to set up the ability to do it again. It's pretty good. This is decent. It's a little bit awkward. I find that archetypes that want to use every single extract mechanic can get a little bit awkward at times, but still, this is pretty powerful for what it is. Moving on, we move to Gold Pride Chariot Carrie. This is Carrie's, car or whatever, vehicle that she races with. This is a rank 3 Aqua Water. 1927 for the stats. Really big for rank 3. It is completely generic, by the way. Keep that in mind as well. You can attach one material from this card, add a Gold Pride spell from your deck to your hand. Then if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can send a Gold Pride monster from your deck to the graveyard. Also, pretty spicy. You can only use the previous effect of Carry once per turn. Once per turn during the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, return this card to the extra, and if you do, special one Gold Pride Carry from your deck or graveyard. Again, pretty solid, not a bad effect there. Just rotating back into Carry, potentially getting a trap card off Carry. Probably the first one. This new one isn't that good, but pretty solid. Again, all 3 cards here I think are solid. Not amazing, but pretty solid. This one particularly because it's generic. You could potentially play other engines that just make a quick rank 3 to just get into the engine. It's pretty good. All right, let's get moving into some spells. First, we have That Came Out of Nowhere. It's a quick play spell. So I love that makes sense. Came out of nowhere. It's a quick play. It comes right up on you. Very cool. Special a Gold Pride monster from your hand or graveyard. Then your opponent can special summon one monster from their hand or field to their hand or graveyard to their field, but negate its effects. You can only activate one of this card per turn. It's pretty good. I mean, there's a world where this is a pretty good extender that you want to play multiple of if the deck is built more pure and you're on a good amount of names. There's also a world where maybe you just play one of this for specific setups, right? And it's searchable, so you can get it when you need it, but you don't have to see it all the time. It's a decent card. The monster your opponent gets is not that worthwhile. I don't like that they get to choose, right? If you could choose what monster, that's different. But they could potentially summon a floater and like keep floating, which is annoying, but still, it's not a bad card overall. Next up, we have Gold Pride, Pedal to the Metal. This is another quick play spell. Target a Gold Pride monster you control. Until the end of this turn, it gains 500 attack. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and it cannot activate its effects. No! That's pretty bad. During the end phase, if a face-up Gold Pride monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect this turn, you can set this card from your graveyard. Wow, this card's useless. This card is dead. Nobody will play this card. Hard ones per turn. Alright, now we move to this spell, the final spell here, and then we have one trap to finish us up. This is Gold Pride, Better Luck Next Time. It's a continuous spell. When this card is activated, you can add a Gold Pride monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, lose life points equal to its attack. That is phenomenal. That is so good. The other spell the deck has is a consistency card, but you do, I think, have to have a Gold Pride monster in hand already, so I don't love that. But the fact that this card can just activate, get a Gold Prime monster, and burn yourself to like guarantee you're going to be lower than your opponent is really, really nice. From there, if a face-up Gold Pride monster or monsters you control that was special summoned from the extra deck returns to the extra deck except by damage step, you can draw one card. So then every single turn that one of your guys goes, oh, I'm going back into the extra deck, so you can summon your guy back, you draw a card. Absolutely insane. This card would have been good enough on just the first effect, but the second effect makes it even better to allow you to grind and go for game and stuff. That's really, really good. You can only use the draw effect once per turn, and you can only activate once per turn. Makes sense. Got to make it somewhat fair. Very cool. That's by far the best card here out of this support. And then for the trap card, we have Gold Pride. It's neck and neck. Normal trap. Target one Gold Pride monster you control or Gold Pride card in your graveyard, except for another copy of itself. Return it to the hand. If your opponent controls a monster with higher attack than your life points, you can banish this card and a Gold Pride monster from grave to summon one other Gold Pride monster from your extra deck that mentions the banished monster's name. You can only use this effect once per turn. Or each effect once per turn. This card's pretty ass, in my opinion. I think the first effect, just returning something to hand, I don't think any of the monsters have effects that jump out of the hand. Quick effect. If this summoned back, it'd be way better, obviously. But adding it to hand is literally just follow-up. And then from grave, your life points have to be lower than your one monster your opponent controls. So you have to be like below 3k. That's almost never happening by turn 1 and turn 2. And so I don't think that's even it's gonna be hard enough to set up. And even if you do, it's a fine effect, but the monster's not properly summoned. It's just okay. So yeah, this card's not great to me. I think you just want to play the other trap. This one's kind of meh. But yeah, all things considered, I think this is pretty good. I think this card's solid. Solid extender that gives you another powerful interruptive option for sure. She's a really good access point. The one thing that ends up being weird for decks that want to use all the different extract mechanics though, Fusion's not that big of a deal, I guess, but for stuff like Synchros and Exceeds that need specific levels, if you're going to do that, you need to be more, I feel like this archetype should have been more designed level-wise like, what's it called? Virtual World. How like their whole archetype in the main deck is level 3s and level 6s. That way they had access to rank 3s, they had access to rank 6s, they had access to Synchro 9s and Synchro 6s, right? It made sense, right? But for this archetype, you have a rank 3 when the deck only has 2 rank 3 monsters. You have a Synchro 6, again, 2 level 3 monsters, and then you look at the rest of them, and I think the other big guy is level 8. This guy's level 5, and they do nothing to facilitate this. So it's just a little bit awkward to me at certain points that you could just draw a certain monster from the engine, and like it's just not helping you get to her, which seems to be like the best engine starter card. So again, maybe we just play like a weird rank 3 engine that just gets you to this early and often and gets that started. But, obviously we'll believe it when we see it. This card's solid, another great extender. Don't love that your opponent gets to choose what they get, but it is what it is. It's still like a decent card. This is garbage. This is by far the worst card, and this by far the best card. Awesome starter they needed. This is perfect, and it's searchable off of the new rank 3, so that's really good, and this card probably won't see play either. Just completely outclassed by the other trap. But all in all, I can't be mad at it. I don't think it's bad. Is it enough to get it where it wants to go? I don't know. This deck has a lot going against it, and the fact that you lose pretty much inherently if you ever go to time, which isn't great. The deck pure, I still have huge questions about, because if you play the deck pure, you have to draw one of the spells to pretty much burn yourself before you start playing. So I still think you need Punk. And like, if you're playing all these little cards, all these engines combined, I wonder how much space you have for like going second cards. So the deck probably struggles a lot going second, because the engine's decent, but like, is the engine good enough to, to get you, like, to barrel through boards legitimately if you don't have hand traps and board breakers to help you get there? I don't know. So I definitely have some questions. There's definitely some good cards here. I'm just going to have to see it all work together and like look at what the builds can look like to really know where it fully ends up. But I'm not disappointed. I think we got Bee Trooper was the last time I was really excited for an archetype. Saw the second wave and it was very disappointing. I would say this is better as a second wave than what Bee Trooper got. So I'm not mad at it altogether. It's pretty cool, and obviously probably in the next couple of years we'll get more support for this archetype anyway. That's just how it works. We just got the new Bee Trooper card, speaking of which, announced a couple months ago. So yeah, we're on track for that. But those are just my thoughts down below, or those are just my thoughts here. Let me know down below your thoughts on this new support. What do you think of these individual cards? Where do you think Gold Pride is, whether it's the Punk version or a more pure or different looking version? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, but please throw that down below. I'm out of here for today, though. Thank you so much for watching, as always, guys. I will see you in the next video. I'll keep you posted on the rest of the TCG exclusive reveals for Syac, which is coming up very, very soon, as well as the final reveals for Dune, stuff like the Legendary Duelist Fire stuff, more Animation Chronicle news, as well as the Jack Atlas structure deck. A lot of stuff coming. I will keep you updated on that, as well as other videos from me, but I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.